Today we are going to talk about a lovely planet. Love and planet. Yes, you guessed it right. We are going to talk about Venus and what happens when Venus is placed in the Lagna. What are the results this Venus is capable of giving us? Well, to begin with, this Venus is a planet that brings in a lot of luck because Venus is said to be Lady Luck. And what happens when it is on the Lagna is that you are lucky if this Venus is not afflicted. Before we continue on this Venus, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Let's talk about this Venus in the Lagna. When this Venus is well placed, it has a power of endying so much more because Venus is the Karaka of beauty, love, accomplishments, wealth and also travels. So this Venus, when placed well in the Lagna, gives one a kind of aura, a kind of beauty, a physique that is so attractive to the opposite gender. You are pleasing to the eye. You have a kind of a persona where everybody wants to be friends with you, wants to talk to you. It's not in the face kind of a thing, but it's very subtle. It brings in that grace, it brings in that look, and it also brings in a poise. With that grace and poise comes a little amount of timidness. So the person is a kind of a timid person. Person does not have too much in terms of liking, being very strong about their views, but the person is well liked and knows how to put forward their views very gently but very firmly, like you would be able to see in the case of Bal Gangadhar Tilakji, where he has his Venus and Saturn together in the Lagna, making him very intelligent, giving him a strong aptitude for Ganit Shastra or maths, as the classics say. In fact, for him, he'd always said that had I not had other duties, I would have taught maths at Fergusson College. So Venus does give one an aptitude for mathematics, especially if it is placed in the Lagna. It also makes one accomplished. It gives a sense of ethereal beauty that I told you. If you look into the chart of Anandmayi Ma, she has an exalted Venus in Pisces on the Lagna. She was graceful. Venus brings in that devotion also if it's very strong. Venus for her is also the 8th Lord sitting in the Lagna, brought in that devotion, brought in that love for people and the ability to give. Venus, when it is well placed in the Lagna, makes you generous also. Venus, when it is placed in the Lagna, also gives a person accomplishments. The person is well known and well respected. So if you take up the case of Persis Kambata, she also, and you know who Persis Kambata was? She was the first lady to win the Miss World prize or Miss World crown from India. If I'm not mistaken, it's Miss Universe, because she had that aura, that look. But with the combination of Saturn Venus, this is such a classic and such a paradoxical combination, because as the classics state, Saturn gives you vairagya or detachment, and Venus, which is the planet of accomplishment and giving beauty, though she did have a lot of beauty, she did have a lot of accomplishments, but she never ventured again into the field of modeling or, for that matter, into the field of acting. So it detaches her with all the good looks, with all the accomplishments that she has, to be able to become one of the greatest in her field. Then, when we talk about, again, Venus in the first house, it makes a person extremely, extremely over spending, if it is afflicted, say there's a Rahu combination there, the person will always overextend themselves, go beyond their means. And because this Venus and Rahu also aspect the 7th house, such a person can also have loss of semen. The person could also be self-indulgent. Venus, when it is good, when it is sitting in the Lagna, gives you a thought and care for others. You want to make others happy. You want to make others very careful, like you would be able to see in the case of Renuka Shahane. But when the same Venus is afflicted with Rahu or with Ketu, then the person is very much a I, me, myself person and can go into a lot of overspending. Wherever that Venus sits, it has the ability to make you accomplished in that field. It gives you beauty in that area. It gives you luxuries in that area. Sitting on the Lagna, the person is born in luxuries. The person could be able to attract luxuries in life, and the person does have the ability to make so much money in life to be able to afford luxury of their own, because the Lagna, as I always say, represents you. It represents the sum total of your chart. If it is good, then you are strong to go. So a good Venus present in the Lagna is again a blessing for a person. Till we meet with you again, stay safe.
बेल आइकन को दबाएं ताकि आपको वीडियोस की अपडेट मिलती रहे। हमारे वीडियोस को लाइक करें, शेयर करें, उन पर कमेंट करें और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना न भूलें।